Good evening and welcome to the channel's studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. A unilateral ceasefire called by Russia appears to have had little effect on fighting on the ground, with officials accusing each other of opening fire on several areas. A Ukrainian rescue worker was killed in a Russian strike, while Russian state TV said the city of Donetsk was also hit. Russia ordered a 36-hour unilateral ceasefire to coincide with the Orthodox Christmas.
15 ноября была представлена украинская формула мира.
However, Kyiv quickly rejected the request. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky saying the truce was an attempt to stop his country's military advances in the east of the country. The Republican leader of the House of Representatives, Kevin McCarthy, has yet again failed in his latest bid to get elected as Speaker in a paralysis of US government not seen since the pre-Civil War era. Not since 1860, when the United States Union was fraying over the issue of slavery, has the lower chamber of Congress voted so many times to pick a Speaker. Back then, it took 44 rounds of ballots.
And that's why I am directed by the Democratic caucus to advance the name of Hakeem Jeffries from New York as Speaker.
Republicans took over the House in November's midterm elections, but the impasse has left the chamber unable to swear in members or pass bills. A group of 20 hardline Republican lawmakers are refusing to give Mr. McCarthy the necessary 218 votes.
My friends, when Donald Trump was president, taxes were cut, regulations were slashed, energy was abundant, wages were rising, capital was returning from overseas to fund the dreams and ambitions of our fellow Americans, and the economy was roaring. What a contrast to what we have seen from this administration now. And so I rise to nominate Donald Trump for the position of Speaker of the House.
Will the House be in order?
It is my sincere fear that if we were to allow Mr. McCarthy to assume the speakership, that would not get done, that it would be business as usual, and the very same things that have paralyzed progress for both parties would continue to shackle us to never-ending failure. We can be better than that. We can raise our gaze indeed.
3 security force members have died in clashes in the Mexican state of Sinaloa after the arrest of a son of notorious drug kingpin El Chapo. Furious gang members set up roadblocks, set fire to vehicles and attacked a local airport. The state governor said earlier 18 people had been admitted to hospital. Ovidio Guzman Lopez, himself alleged to be a leader of his father's former cartel, was captured in Calhuacan and transferred to Mexico City. Footage on board a plane that was about to take off shows passengers crouching and cowering in their seats after the plane was shot at. The airline said no customers or employees had been harmed. More than 100 flights were cancelled at 3 Sinaloa airports. Prince Harry has made a string of damning accusations against his family in a new memoir called Spare. He also writes that he and his brother begged their father, now the king, not to marry Camilla. And he talks candidly about drug taking as a teenager and killing Taliban fighters while serving in Afghanistan. The book officially goes on sale in the UK and US next week, but copies have already been bought in Spain, where it has mistakenly gone on sale. And Orthodox Christians in Istanbul have braced the waters of Istanbul's Golden Horn waterway to mark the ancient Greek Orthodox rite to celebrate the Feast of Epiphany. Once spiritual leader of the world's Orthodox Christians, Patriarch Bartholomew threw a wooden cross into the Bosphorus to set off the traditional race, with swimmers rushing to be the first to retrieve the crucifix. Meanwhile, in Bulgaria, men donning traditional dress danced in the icy waters of the Tudza River in the village of Kalofa as part of their Epiphany celebrations. And men dressed as witches raced on boats through the canals as part of Venice's annual Epiphany Regatta. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the channel's studios in Lagos.